Good afternoon. Today, I will talk about my freshly completed postdoctoral project. 2 years ago now, I joined the Archaeoacoustic Hub at the University of Barcelona, led by Professor Margarita Díaz Andreu. And there, I worked on my postdoctoral Mary Skłodowska-Curie postdoctoral project, which is called Cult-Aural, or fully titled Oral Culture, Decoding Sacred Soundscapes of Medieval Europe. So today I want to talk about large percussion instruments as communication devices and what came out of this research. So this presentation has three main parts. First, I will present the use of percussion instruments in medieval religious settings across Christian world, and then in various cultural contexts. And finally, I will argue that the powerful sounds emitted from sacred sites played a crucial role in the sacralization of landscapes, not only in medieval Europe, but also across diverse cultures. So in Eastern Christianity, there are semantron, this wooden board, and small one, the portable one, then sideron, the metallic one, like this, and this one here, and also stone semantron. It remained an essential instrument throughout the Byzantine period and is still in use in Orthodox monasteries across Eastern Mediterranean and the Balkans. So after the adoption of bells, these instruments continued to be used, so adding a layer or a complexity to sacred soundscapes. So the sound of semantron varies depending on the type of wood that is used. So maple, linden, ash, and chestnut are considered the most resonant materials, and larger semantron produces richer tone in comparison to a portable one. So already in 9th century, it was noted that semantron has a softer sound that is perceived humbler than that of metallic instruments when calling people to prayer. So even today, because of this soft sound, semantron is used during the 3 days leading up to the Easter in Orthodox church and monasteries, while bells are silent. So this semantron is also believed to have spiritual powers, including healing and warning demons. So now let's hear this rhythmic formula usually used for semantron. Here is a nun from Rita Monastery. Okay, so here is this stone semantron. We don't see it that often, but there are some examples. For example, like this one in Ethiopia, in a rock-carved church from 12th century. But the audibility of these instruments, we didn't run analysis yet, and for stone semantron, I didn't record them at all. But we can make some conclusions. For example, there is this study of lithophones in Norway from Gjermund Koltvedt, and this rock also sounds, and it is already described as like sounding of bells, and it is noted that it could be heard up to 6 kilometers away, or even over 6 kilometers away, depending on weather conditions. Okay. Matraca. Matraca is used in the Western Christian world, mainly in Spain and Mediterranean, but also in Latin America. It seems that Spain had a main role in dissemination of this instrument. And as you can see, it also comes in a large and a portable version. Often it is very important instrument, so often it is put next to the bell. And I will now play what I recorded in Cervera in Catalonia. And please note the landscape at the end of the video. Okay, so this instrument is associated with the customs of the Holy Week as well, like semantron, where it serves as a substitute for church bells. And like semantron, what is most commonly used, is wooden semantron. This is also a wooden instrument, although completely differently played. This is more of a noisemaker. Okay, and then we can, okay, bells. Okay, I will not talk too much about bells. I just wanted to show, we know that medieval bells, they also had decorations, sometimes decorations and inscriptions. But there are many examples where we don't have any decorations or we have very small ones. And this is what I recorded in Norway. This study is going to be published really soon, like in the next couple of days, and I invite you to read it because it is very interesting. Norway has quite a collection of medieval bells that are still in use. So here you can see that, you can note that landscape is quite different than one from Cervera. And also, in this study, we were lucky to have Henning Andersen as a guide. He's a professional bell ringer, and he rang all the bells that we recorded. He rang them for us. So let's see him and hear him. Okay, that is a medieval bell. The thing is that the propagation of sound of bells was not studied that much. We had something we published, something will be published soon about the sound propagation of medieval bells. And there is this tool plugin used in ArcGIS that calculates atmospheric absorption loss. It means it includes temperature and humidity and ground cover loss and terrain effects and everything. But again, it is not developed for humanities. So, but we can get some kind of sound mapping to understand how far the sound can actually reach. So this is an example from village Pujol. It's also medieval bell. We measured the bell, collected acoustic data, okay? And so for the most prominent frequency, we ran this plugin for sound mapping, and we got this. So here we understood that sound of Pujol bell cannot be only heard in its own parish, but also it reaches surrounding parishes, to surrounding parishes, covering completely, entirely. And now examples worldwide. So, teponastli. So many musical instruments are used for long distance communication worldwide. Here I will talk about only 3 examples. This is a slit drum or struck idiophone found in Mesoamerica, used for long distance communication, and it originated around 600 AD. Here are 3 different examples, and as you can see, it is very nicely crafted drum. It's a hollowed out wood cylinder featuring 2 H-shaped tongues like this. Although they are the same length, one is thinner than the other. And it has an opening or a cavity underneath. So the instrument is played by hitting with rubber tip mallets, and its soft sound is considered singing. The instrument is usually carved on the outside like this, you can see, with some illustrative motifs like mythological beings, warriors, or deities. And it is also known that this instrument was used as a war drum to convey messages. But it is also regarded as a shelter for both living and non-living, playing a significant role in ritual settings, which means that this instrument is sacred. So those people who played the instrument were proud of making gods speak and serving as intermediaries between the living and spiritual world. Then, second example, manguare. It's a pre-Columbian drum set from two hollowed trunks played with mallets. These here, you can see them here. Always positioned at an angle and resting on a wooden stance. The thinner drum is regarded male and the thicker female. And this set of drums served as a long-distance communication medium, believed to reach distances up to 30 kilometers. In Vitoto community, the manguare is used to transmit various messages, very similar to what we have in Christian world. So it was calling relatives or calling people to prayer in the Christian world, then reporting to danger, announcing hunts, declaring war, signaling arrival of important person, or notifying others of a death. It has been noted that among some communities, like Bora or Okaina, the beats of the manguare can be decoded or transcribed into some form of language. So this instrument also holds spiritual significance and is even considered sacred. So Vitoto people believe that Father Creator manifests through manguare, and its beats are thought to be thunders accompanying the first rain. It is also believed that this instrument harbor the souls of both living and the deceased. So, yeah, definitely a sacred object. The third example is garamut, which is played in Papua New Guinea. And when struck with the wooden mallets, it produces a loud sound that is sometimes compared to crying. There were a series of beats and clan-based codes traditionally performed by elders. The garamut is played on special occasions to convey messages over long distances. They say even several kilometers away again. So the garamut holds spiritual significance for locals, and it is considered imbued with powers. Thus, among Kayan people, if a village chief does not possess garamut, it is thought he lacks a voice. So it is believed the spirits reside in sacred objects, including garamut, and these spirits are responsible for health, welfare, and successful hunting and fishing in their livelihoods. So the analysis of these three instruments, of all of these actually instruments, both in Christian and worldwide context, led us to examine their role in landscape sacralization within medieval cross-cultural contexts. So first, they served as crucial tools for long-distance communication in pre-modern societies. As we saw, the manguare, pre-Columbian drum set, mimicked the tonal patterns of language, while bells in Europe and Asia used to summon people, announce events, and issue warnings over large areas. So the propagation of these instrument sound throughout the landscape was influenced by acoustic properties of the instruments themselves, but also with the weather, topographical conditions, and vegetations. So, second, sounds of percussion instruments indicated the presence of a divinity, thus fostered a sense of communal identity, strengthening the bond between people and their environment. And third, the multipurpose of these instruments, including their religious, signaling, protective, and musical purposes, and how they conveyed messages with larger layered meanings. So these three aspects, oral coverage, local identity, and multipurpose, demonstrate that large percussion instruments played outdoors from sacred sites were essential in the sacralization of landscapes in medieval Europe and beyond. They have been continuously played for centuries, so now they can serve us as a portal for exploring medieval landscapes. All the results of this project are going to be published and announced. They're going to be announced in my Instagram page of the project, so you can follow up. And if you have any questions, thank you.